Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear students. Today in this module we are going to discuss about mouthwash, gargle and throat paint. And I am Dr. Mona Semalti from HNB Garhwal University, Srinagar, Garhwal. I welcome you all and let's see in this module what we are going to discuss. We are going to discuss mouthwash, gargle and throat paint. And after going through from this module, you are going to learn about mouthwash, ingredients of mouthwash, gargle, throat paint and its formulation aspect. So dear student, now let me tell you about mouthwash. Mouthwash, mouth rinse, oral rinse or mouth bath is a liquid which is held in the mouth passively or swirled around the mouth by contraction of the perioral muscles and or the movement of the head and maybe gargle. Okay, they can be used as a cosmetic for controlling the bad breath through the use of antimicrobial agents and flavors. Okay, they can also be used as a therapeutic agents to reduce the plaque, gingivitis, dental caries and stomatitis. Now directly moving to the component of mouthwash. Antibacterial agents, alcohol, humectants, surfactant, flavoring agent, fluorides, coloring agent and sweetening agents. These are the component of mouthwash. Now taking one by one then. Antibacterial agent, cetyl pyridinium chloride, CPC. It is used in mouthwashes in concentration from 0. Up to 0.5%. Chlorhexidine, okay, and triclosan, saline and other antibacterial agents such as cinnamon oil and cassia, clove, eucalyptus, thyme, peppermint, anise, menthol, thymol and methyl salicylates. So these are antibacterial agents used for mouthwash. The next important component of mouthwash is humectant, glycerin and sorbitol. Because whenever we talk about humectant, glycerin and sorbitols are the only two compounds which comes immediately in our mind. That glycerin 5 to 20% in 5 to 20% concentrations are added in the mouthwash and this agent increases the viscosity of the preparation and it enhances the sweetness of the product. Next is alcohol. Basically mouthwash is alcoholic preparation having alcohol ranging from 10 to 20% concentration and it enhances the flavor, provides the sharpness to the taste, okay, and unpleasant taste of active drug can be masked by using this ingredient and it also function as a solubilizing agent and as a preservative. Surfactant, okay, they add in solubilization of flavors and in the removal of debris by providing foaming action if it is needed. Poloxamer 407 and 338, polysorbate 80 and they are used in as a surfactant in mouthwash. Flavoring agent, okay, fine. Flavoring agents are used to contribute in the taste of mouthwash. And xylitol, sorbitols are used in this. Coloring agents are used to these products for providing the desirable color and distinguishing similar products in eyes of customer. Okay, the most common color is blue green. Okay, this you might have seen mouthwashes. If sometimes, then you might have noticed that only main two colors, blue and green, are the only colors which are used and are certified by Food, Drug and Control by FDC. Fluorides, sweetening agents and preservative. Fluoride, phosphate ion, triclosan, chlorhexidine and hydrogen peroxide. Sweetening agent, saccharin is added, and preservative, you can take examples of parabens, sodium benzoate. Now moving to the preparation of mouthwash. Mouthwash preparation, the very first step is the formula setup. That how you are going to prepare mouthwash. The very first step is formula setup, and the second step is to ensure its stability. Okay, so it is carried out for ensuring that the product is going to remain stable with intact quality regardless of external conditions for a long-term storage. And then production of mouthwash to large scale, and then filling of the product in appropriate packing. So moving to the very first step, this is compounding. So compounding, mouthwash is prepared via batch process in an area of the manufacturing plant called compounding, where the mouthwash is going to be prepared. Here the operations referred to as compounders. Okay, the persons who are operating in this sections are referred as compounders. Batches around 2000 to 3000 gallons are prepared using the specific formula setup and instructions for the mouthwash preparation. The raw materials are delivered to the compounding area. Okay, this is the first thing. And then compounders add them to the main batch where they are thoroughly mixed. Two materials are used in large quantities in mouthwash: water and alcohol. Okay, so these are pumped directly to the tank, to the formulation tank, you can say, or the container, which is done by simply setting the, it is automated process. Computerized machines just do this to supply the appropriate amount of water, alcohol to the main container or main tank, which is used for the formulation of mouthwash. Then the mixing speed and temperature, everything is automated and it is completely controlled, and the batch is also controlled by the computer machine, and the time which is taken to complete a batch, it depends upon the size of the batch and the number of components we are going to add into it. So next is batch analysis. So what we do in batch analysis, once the batch is complete, the sample is taken to the quality control lab. Okay, the batch is checked whether it meets the official specifications, standard specifications as per the formula or not. Then the quality control chemist is going to run the viscosity, pH determinations and other related parameters. If any characteristics of the batch is found to be out of range, then it is corrected. Okay, it is corrected at that spot only, at that time only. Say for example, the color variation problem can it can be modified by the modification in the use of coloring matter. So this way, if anything goes wrong with the batch, so it can be sorted out at that time only. So that is why the instant जो है immediate quality control tests are performed. Okay, after approval of the batch, it is pumped from the main tank to the holding tank, and then from holding tank to is directly hooked up to the filling lines where the product is to be packed or is to be filled individually. Okay, next is filling. Okay, at the beginning of the filling, there is a large bin called hopper, which contains the empty bottle that is to be filled, right? Here the bottles are physically manipulated so that they come out standing upright on the conveyor belt. So then they are removed for filling, then they are removed to filling carousel that contains the bulk of mouthwash product. Then the filling carousel has a series of piston filling heads that are designed to deliver an exact amount of mouthwash to the individual container. Okay. After the bottles, they are sent to the conveyor belt for then after the bottles, they are set to be filled completely, and then they are sent to conveyor belt to capping machine. The caps are also held in a large bin, okay, and correctly aligned. As the bottle pass through the capping section, the caps are put on either twisted or pushed in the place depending on the type of the cap which is used. So after the process of capping, the bottles are sent to the labeling machine. The labels are held in the large spools and threaded through a machine. As the bottle passes one by one, the labels are stick to them either by adhesives or by application of heat. So this way we have come to the labeling from the preparation, okay, from the raw material. Then we discussed what are the raw materials which are used, how it is going to be formulated, what are the things, and what is the process, and then final mixing, quality control, and then filling, capping, and then labeling. So after the labeling, the bottles are moved to boxing station. They are typically gathered in a group of 12 to 24 and dropped into a box. Okay, the boxes are then moved to the palleting machine and stacked. High speed production of this production line can give us 20,000 bottles of mouthwash per hour. Okay, go through from this formula of sodium chloride mouthwash. We have ingredients: sodium bicarbonate, sodium chloride, okay, chloroform, peppermint oil, and water. So this is a formula just for your reference. So dear students, just remember this formula is an example. You can write in the examination as a example. Procedure: dissolve sodium bicarbonate and sodium chloride in 10 ml, then add chloroform, peppermint oil, make up the volume, and then dispense the solution. So this is the preparation of sodium chloride mouthwash. Moving to next topic in this module, gargle. Okay, these are aqueous and hydroalcoholic solutions which are used and to treat or to prevent the throat infection. So they are dispensed in concentrated form and are used with dilution with warm water. Okay, so they are brought in intimate contact with the mucous membrane of the throat and it is allowed to remain for a few moments. Example, potassium chloride and phenol gargle. So this is the example. You just have a look at the formula. Potassium chlorate 30 grams and patent blue V 0.009 gram, liquefied phenol and water up to 1000 ml. So this is a formula of potassium chlorate and phenol gargle BPC. There is another formula of phenol gargle, phenol glycerin and amaranth solution and water up to 100 ml. So this is another formula. Okay, look at the procedure. Amaranth solution plus small quantity of hydrogen peroxide plus phenol and glycerin to it. The solution is stirred and made up of the volume with the purified water. Then diluted with equal volumes of warm water. Okay. Okay, here I am giving you another example of a herbal gargle which is prepared by using ginger. So simmer, what you have to do first is simmer 1 tablespoon, that is 15 ml grated fresh organic ginger root or powder in a cup of warm water for 10 minutes, right? Then strain the liquid and add a tablespoon, again 15 ml of honey or pinch of cayenne pepper, right? Then what you have to do, this is used as a gargle every 30 minutes until the throat feels good, right? So this is ginger gargle for throat infection. Now moving to the next topic in this module, which is throat paints. So these are solutions or dispersions of one or more active ingredients intended for application to the mucosa of the throat or mouth, right? So paints can be applied on the skin and mucous membrane, but all paints cannot be used on mucosal membrane. So throat paint should be made viscous so that they are going to adhere to the target site for longer duration of action. So throat paints, this is one important characteristics of throat paints, that they are thick enough in consistency so that they are going to adhere to the target site for a longer period of time. Okay. The viscous property to the throat paint is provided by the addition of glycerin, okay, which acts as a vehicle also. So we can say that the throat paints are viscous enough preparations, and glycerin is used as a vehicle in that, okay, and it contains 1 or 2 active ingredient in a suitable vehicle. Okay, glycerin we have taken as one of the example. So they are applied to the affected part with the help of camel hair brush or by cotton plug, right, or with or without dilution with water. Now medicaments which are used in throat paint: astringent, antiseptics, anti-infectives and analgesics. Okay, now astringents, you can take example of tannic acid, boric acid, antiseptic iodine, crystal violet, anti-infective like phenol, analgesics, okay, clove oil, potassium permanganate. These are the examples, and this is the list of medicaments which are used in throat paint. Now let us see some of the advantages of using throat paint for the treatment of pharyngitis, tonsils, thrush, and ulcerative stomatitis. Okay, now the higher viscosity of throat paints, as I told you in previous slides also, that the higher viscosity of throat paint is going to allow them to adhere on the targeted surface for a longer duration of action. Okay, so this is one of the advantage of throat paint, that they have got the higher viscosity so that it is going to adhere to the target site for a longer period of time, and so overall the bioavailability which we are going to get is more due to this advantage of throat paint. Now disadvantage of using throat paint, the application of throat paint, it results in increased in salivation, hence the person has to spit it off often. Okay, so this sometimes makes the patient uncomfortable, so it's not easy to apply throat paint on the inner part of the mouth and throat by fingers. So camel hair brush or the cotton plug twisted at the tip of the plastic stick. So by this way one has to apply the throat paint to the inner part of the mouth. So this is one of the disadvantage of using the throat paint. First thing, it increases the salivation, hence the person has to spit it again and again. So this is sometimes uncomfortable for the patient. And another thing is, it's difficult to apply throat paint with the finger to the inner part of the mouth. Now look at this formula. Preparation of compound IP throat paint. It contains potassium iodide, okay, iodine, alcohol, purified water, peppermint oil, and glycerin. Okay, so you have to remember this formula because you are going to write it in your examination if throat paint is asked, and you have to mention this example. So just remember, it contains potassium iodide, iodine, alcohol, okay, purified water, peppermint oil, and glycerin. So look at the procedure. Preparation of compound IP throat paint. Okay, iodine is slightly soluble in water, but the presence of potassium iodide, it is soluble and forms polyiodides. Okay, so the solubility of these polyiodide is higher in water as compared to the iodine, and alcohol, it acts as a co-solvent to increase the solubility of iodine. So as glycerin is viscous in nature, and throat paint will remain adhered to the throat for a longer duration of action. So what is the contribution of each ingredient? It must be clear to you that what for the each ingredient which is there in the formula is used. Okay, now alcohol, it is used as a co-solvent, and glycerin is going to contribute in the viscosity. Okay, so now what you have to do next is triturate the iodine in glass mortar to get the fine powder, and accordingly weigh the required amount of iodine. Okay, now dissolve potassium iodide in water, and then to this solution add iodine powder by continuous stirring. Dissolve peppermint oil and half of the portion of glycerin in alcohol. So this is the procedure for preparation of compound IP throat paint. Now to complete it, what you have to do next is add this solution to the above iodine and potassium iodine solution with continuous stirring and adjust the final volume with the remaining portion of glycerin. Okay, as the preparation contains the volatile ingredients like iodine, water and peppermint oil, and also the iodine which is very sensitive to the light, so the paint is stored in amber color bottle or plastic screw cap. Okay, so and the camel paint brush is also supplied with the product for its administration or for its application in the inner part of the mouth. So you can take another example of tannic acid throat paint, tannic acid, sodium citrate, dried sodium sulfide and glycerin. So how it is going to be prepared, what you have to do, weigh separately tannic acid, dried sodium sulfide and sodium citrate. You have to triturate them to fine powder in a porcelain dish. Then to this powder you have to add the glycerin and again triturate until you get a smooth mixture, right? And then the remaining amount of glycerin is added to it and it is mixed well. In the next step, what you have to do is this mixture is heated on a sand bath between 115 to 120 degrees centigrade with occasional stirring. Okay, until you get a solution form, and then you have to cool it to the room temperature. This preparation is kept in ambered colored bottle to prevent the any interaction with the light and to prevent the evaporation and of the solution, and you have to screw it with the plastic screw cap, and then labeling and polishing is done. So that's all for this formulation, and these are the references. You can refer this for further reading. So dear students, now let me quickly summarize this module that we have studied about my mouthwash, gargle and throat paints, the active ingredients which are used in mouthwash, gargle and throat paint, and other additives which are used, their formulation details. So all these things we discuss about mouthwash, gargle and throat paint in this module. So dear students, I hope you have enjoyed this module. So stay tuned for more videos, and thank you so much for watching this video.